Section 1.3, Part 3 is on evaluating algebraic expressions. In algebra, we're going to be talking about expressions and equations. Okay, it's important that you kind of know the difference between those two. And so here I've put some terminology that you need to know. To evaluate means you're going to find the value of something. Okay, if it tells you to evaluate an expression, we're going to be finding a numerical value for that expression. Variables are letters that are used to represent quantities. Most commonly, we like to use X, Y, Z, okay, A or B, but any letter can be used. It doesn't have to just be those, but a variable just represents a value, okay, some quantity. An algebraic expression is a collection of numbers, variables, operations, and grouping symbols. An algebraic expression does not include an equal sign. Okay, here are some examples. 2x plus 1 is an algebraic expression. X squared plus 3y is an algebraic expression. Okay, so we see multiplication, we see addition. This problem we see exponents, so it could be any type of operation or grouping symbol. What you will have to do in this section is evaluate an algebraic expression. Example 3 says, evaluate each expression when x is equal to 4 and y is equal to 2. When I have this problem, 3x minus y, this actually means 3 times x minus y. Everywhere that I have an x, I'm going to replace it with a 4. So this would be the same as 3 times 4 minus, everywhere I have a y, I'm going to replace it with a 2. So I would put a 2 in the place of the y. So all we've done is change that from being an algebraic statement to numerical. Then you would use your order of operations that we talked about previously to simplify. So what would I do first? I have multiplication and subtraction, so multiplication would have to be done first. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 minus 2 is 10. So 10 would be your answer. On B, we have the expression x squared minus y squared. Okay, again, I'm using the same values given in the example. X is equal to 4, so that would be 4 to the second power minus y is equal to 2 to the second power. And typically, if you're going to replace, especially something that's raised to a power, always put it in parentheses, especially if it's a negative number that we're putting in. We'll talk about that later on in the future sections. But it's a good idea to put those in parentheses when you replace those. So what do I do first? Well, before I can subtract, I have to clear my exponents. So 4 to the second power, 16, minus 2 to the second power is 4. 16 minus 4 is 12. So 12 would be my solution. Okay, and again, this is called evaluating an algebraic expression. Part 4 says to determine whether a number is a solution of a given equation. Well, before we can do that problem, we need to talk about some more terminology here. It says when two algebraic expressions are equal, then an equation is formed. An equation, by definition, is a mathematical statement that two expressions have equal value. An equation does contain an equal sign. Okay, an algebraic expression does not. So some examples of an equation: x plus 2 equals 10, 2x plus 7 equals 3y minus 8. So it can have more than one variable, but what you will see is that you will see the equal sign. Okay, another big difference between an equation and an expression is that an equation can be solved, which is what we're going to do in future lessons. But solving an equation means that you're finding a value for the variable that makes that equation true. The solution of an equation is the value for that variable that does make that equation true. So what we're going to do with all of this in this very first section is determine whether a number that's given to you in a problem is a solution or not. Okay, again, we're going to be using order of operations. Example 4 says decide whether the given number is a solution of the given equation. If you notice, it says 2x plus 7 equals 3x. And then I have a semicolon and then 6. Okay? I want to decide, is 6 a solution? So to do that, I'm going to rewrite my problem. This is my equation. Everywhere I have an x, I'm going to replace it with a 6. And then really I want to put a little question mark here because I'm not sure if those two sides are going to equal. That's what we have to figure out. Order of operations, if I look on just this left side, multiplication first, 2 times 6 is 12. 12 plus 7 would be 19. Does that equal what I have on the right side of this equation? 3 times 6 would be 18. No, those two things do not equal, which tells me that 6 is not the solution to this equation. Okay, the correct solution would have given me a true statement here, two sides that were equal. So my answer here would just be no. 6 is not the solution to this equation. Okay, we're not trying to find any solutions. We're just testing to see whether this is a solution or not. Okay, part B, the equation is 3x minus 10 equals 14. I want to know if 8 is the solution. I only have one variable, so one place where I have to plug in the 8. And I want to see, does that equal 14? Multiplication first. 3 times 8 is 24. Minus 10 would be 14. And that does equal 14. So I get a true statement. Because 8 gave me this true statement, that means 8 is the solution to this equation. So it would be yes. And I believe on the homework in my math lab, these are going to be multiple choice. You're just going to click yes, it is a solution or not. Okay, or no if it is not.